Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nayri, also known as Wedding Fashion Expert. This week we are talking about a subscriber requested topic. Maura wrote in saying, I was wondering if you could do a video for if the wedding dress process goes wrong. For example, when the store orders the wrong size, alterations get messed up, dresses don't come in time, supply shifts and delays your dress, etc. There aren't a lot of resources about the next steps on what to do. I am going to fill you in on all of these items in this week's video. For those of you that are new to my channel, welcome. I am so honored that you have found me. I am, of course, a wedding fashion expert, stylist, buyer, wear so many different hats at LOVELLA Bridal, and of course, a wedding industry educator as well. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, drop a comment below, let me know if there's a particular video you'd like me to create for you or any topic you'd like me to discuss. I am here for you, guiding you along the way leading up to your special day. For daily content, please be sure to follow at LOVELLA Bridal, at LOVELLA Plus, and at Wedding Fashion Expert. You can now subscribe on my Instagram at Wedding Fashion Expert for exclusive content. Be the first to see weekly content from me on Instagram that you must subscribe for. For daily content, also follow TikTok at LOVELLA Bridal and at Wedding Fashion Expert. Now time to talk about all the things that could potentially go wrong and how to handle the situations at hand. Maura, I am so grateful that you wrote in asking about this because this is such a valuable topic for brides out there that are experiencing things going wrong during the dress shopping process. Not to mention that there are things that can go wrong in anything we do. When humans are involved, there is always room for human error. That is the first thing I want you to consider. When something goes wrong, I want you to do your best to not overreact. I know that's easier said than done. Get an understanding from the store. What happened? What caused this? And this could go for anything that goes wrong on wedding day with any vendor. Ask what happened and how this happened. Get an understanding, then ask, what can we do about it? What is the solution? I promise you, if you just take a moment and not react to whatever has happened and come from a very calm, productive, problem-solving place, the store is going to want to bend over backwards for you. As they should. If any mistake did happen, we should all acknowledge and own up to it and remedy it to the best that we possibly can. You as the customer creating friction and anger and pressure on the store is not going to help the situation. An error is an error, a mistake is a mistake, and it's all about making it whole within a realistic space. So if a size has been ordered wrong, which we at LOVELLA have done that before, we've ordered dresses in the wrong color, we've ordered dresses with sparkle when it was supposed to not have sparkle, on accident. We would never do these things intentionally. Does it happen often? Not in our store. It does not happen often. However, it does happen. We serve over 1,000+ brides a year. When you have that much volume, there's bound to be error, whether it's error from the store or if it's error on the manufacturing side and the designer side. So it's all about picking a store that, one, has a great reputation, because we at LOVELLA, we have a great reputation. We work really, really hard on our reputation, but we're also very clear on the types of brides that we want to serve. We are not the right fit for every single bride because not every bride is going to value our expertise, our knowledge, and our process. When we make a mistake, we own it and we fix it. Whatever that remedy looks like, we work with our bride to get to an understanding that is mutually beneficial for everybody involved. I want you to consider a mistake that you once made at your job and what that meant for your company that you work for or the client that it impacted. We all make mistakes. So first things first, we have to come from an understanding place that things do go wrong. And then we figure out the solution. And this is why it is so important that you pick a store that has been in business, knows what they're doing, and knows how to fix problems, right? Because problems do happen. They're inevitable, no matter how many prevention plans we have placed as a store to make sure that the right size, color, dress, everything is ordered and arrives on time. There's a lot on the back end that bridal stores need to do that a lot of times the consumer doesn't think about. And if you really think about it, no matter what field you're in, no matter what you're doing, there's always room for air. I can recall a lot of different times in which things have gone wrong and have not worked in my favor, and it wasn't my fault. For example, I had to order a door, and there's a in swing, out swing, left, right. There's all these different things that, like, I don't know doors, right? I know wedding dresses. I know a lot of other things. I don't know front doors. So I special ordered a door from Home Depot. Per the contractor gave me specifically what I was supposed to do. When I called him, he was driving at the time, so he was going from memory. Well, he told me the wrong door side. So when the door arrived with special order, no refunds, no exchanges, nothing. What I bought was what I bought, and it was wrong. He offered to pay for it, which most people would have said, yes, please pay for it. And I didn't say, no, don't worry about it, because I could afford it. Definitely not. This was not something that I had the means to be out the money for. However, as I looked deeper into the situation, I had a friend who needed a front door, and this happened to be the perfect style, the perfect in swing, the perfect side of the door handle, and it worked out perfectly for her. And she bought it off of me. So instead of making the contractor pay for something that, yes, was his error, I also looked at it as it was an honest mistake. I make honest mistakes before. Let me see what I can do to make this work. Whether I put it online and sell it, just so happened it worked out so beautifully that my friend needed it. And it was an even exchange. It worked out. I got the right front door. All was well. So I encourage you, instead of going through the aspect of, I'm gonna make them pay, they made this mistake, I'm gonna terrorize them on Yelp, I promise you the universe works for you and not against you. Come from a place of understanding. Even though you might be fuming, take a step back. When you're fuming is not the time to have a conversation with the store. People will go above and beyond for you in any aspect of your life, so long as you treat them with respect and understanding and have an open dialogue. Naturally, there are people who are capable of having an open dialogue and can throw ego out the window and fess up and say, hey, I messed up. Or there could be stores that won't take ownership for the mistake, somehow blame it on you and not want to remedy the situation. That's very possible. If you were doing business with us at Lovella, we would own up to it, because what do we have to hide? We're human. We make mistakes, but we're gonna make it right, because that's who we are and that's the reputation that we lead. So when you buy your wedding dress, this is a perfect example to do business with a store, with a stylist that you connect with, that there is a mutual understanding that this needs to be a win-win for both parties involved. It's not just about them making a sale, and it's not just about you buying a wedding dress. It's about us serving you and your needs, finding you the dress of your dreams, and setting you off on your way down the aisle to walk down in the dress that you feel the most beautiful and confident in. That energy right there is a huge energy shift from a salesperson to a prospect versus a partnership that we're working together to solve a problem. The problem is if I don't find you a dress, you're walking down the aisle naked, and we can't have that. We need you clothed. That being said, purchase from a store that you trust, that is gonna own up to mistakes. If a store is deeply discounting and they are doing everything out of desperation, that's not a store that you wanna do business with. They're probably struggling, and they're probably not gonna be one that's going to take ownership for mistakes. Get to know them, ask questions. Ask, hey, has stuff gone wrong before? What happens if things go wrong? You'll know from their answer. If you asked me that, I'd be like, yeah, you know, things have gone wrong before, but we always make sure that it's right. And that's why we have everything in writing. You try on the dress, you purchase the dress, you initial next to every line item, we discuss everything together. There's mutual understanding from the beginning. And if something goes haywire after the fact, we work together as a team. It's not me against you or you against me. We work together as a team to resolve the problem. And I tell all of my clients that. And I also say, you must be realistic in what you're asking of me. If you're asking me to make sure the dress is not gonna wrinkle on you, well, that's not a problem I can solve. So everything within reason, right? If you come to me and you say, I want a fitted dress and I also want to be able to sit comfortably and belly breathe all night, I'm gonna say that's not realistic. I can't solve that problem. So everything within reason. When it comes to dresses running late, This is why you want to order as quickly as possible. We have had dresses delayed, and that's not the store's fault necessarily, right? That is the manufacturer. So it's interesting. There's the manufacturer, there's the store, and then there's the bride. And this is why it's so important to pick stores that have great relationships with their manufacturers. And we do business with manufacturers that we trust, that we know will be there for us when things don't go according to plan, that they're going to support us and they're going to find a solution. We have had dresses run late. We have had dresses that have shown up 3 to 4 months late, arrive 2 weeks before the bride's wedding. We flip it over in alterations and off we go. But we communicate with the bride. We let them know that it's running late. We let them know that no matter what, it's not going to miss the wedding, and that we are going to knock out the alterations in time. You have to trust us. We're business partners in a sense. And we have been doing this for over 50 years at Lovella. We have yet to miss a wedding. We wouldn't. But there are brides that don't trust us. And I understand it's very difficult to give trust to people. But this is why you want to pick a store that has a great reputation and can deliver. And do dresses running late happen all the time? No, it's not something that happens regularly. But when it does happen, we do everything we can to alleviate the stress on the bride and let them know that it's going to happen. I recently had someone I know get married, and she didn't get the dress from us, and she called me saying, I forgot, it's my fault, I'll take ownership. I gave them the wrong wedding date, and when I changed the wedding date to be sooner, I forgot to let the store know, but I called them to say, hey, when's my dress coming? And it was going to arrive the month of the new wedding date. At least you're taking ownership for your heir. And I said, look, I know this brand and I know the store. They're not going to miss your wedding. If they tell you they're going to get it on time, have faith and trust that it's going to show up. And sure enough, it showed up 2 weeks before the wedding, because I know the industry. I know the people that are in it. I know the ones that can make it happen. And if they say it's going to happen, it's going to happen. They were going to find a solution regardless. If that dress didn't show up on time, they were going to provide her with another option. Now, I told her, I said, if the dress isn't there 5 days before your wedding, then you'll come into Lovella, we'll pick a sample, and we'll do everything we can. I'll put you in touch with the seamstress that can turn it over in time. There is always a solution. And if something doesn't go according to plan, there is a reason for it. And you must trust the process. No different than my front door example. The front door I had originally picked would not have worked for the house. It just wasn't a good fit. Why I picked it, I don't know, but it ended up being wrong, and it was wrong for the right reason, because it was not the fit for the house. It didn't match the aesthetic, the color. I have no idea what I was thinking. It wasn't the door that I was supposed to have. And naturally, it became a fit for somebody else that I knew, and I was able to get the door that I was supposed to have. I could have taken it all out on that contractor. I could have made him pay for it. What good was that going to do for the rest of my project? It wasn't going to do me any good. You have to maintain this relationship with the store for them to deliver the dress on time for you. So if you start yelling and screaming and being really combative, this is not going to be a win-win scenario for anybody involved, even if it's the alteration process. If something goes wrong, there is always a solution. I have been in this industry for over a decade. Knock wood, I have probably seen every mistake and error that is possibly out there, from the wrong color being ordered, from an error in alterations, whether it's happened in the walls of Lovella or somewhere else, and a bride has reached out to me because they worked with me and didn't purchase the dress from me, right? I've heard it all. There's always a solution, and it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. Trust the process. Remain calm. Remain calm. If you need to DM me what the problem is, I'm going to reassure you there's a solution. Stay calm, stay mentally aware and awake to be solution oriented. Don't focus on the problem, focus on the solution of how to solve the problem. And I promise you, everything will go so much smoother. Think about other examples in your life, and honestly apply this to every aspect of your life. It's super helpful and something that I have learned over time, because there are times where I have not been nice to the person that's helping me because I thought that's how I could get what I want, and not so good. They're less likely to do what I need them to get done. Kindness goes a long way. Understanding goes a long way. Be human. They are a human helping you, and you're a human. Human to human contact coming from a place of understanding goes a very, very, very long way, no matter what issue you are dealing with. If you have any questions or anything further that I did not address in this video, please be sure to drop a comment below and I am happy to address it for you. I hope that you found this video helpful. For more videos and tips like these, please be sure to tune in every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I will see you in next week's video.